Are you still pickling oyster mushrooms? Seriously, you don't need to pickle them, just salt them, salt the oyster mushrooms. These salted oyster mushrooms are amazing, perfect as a snack for anything you want. We'll find it, I'll show you something simple. Hi everyone, you're on the channel Dan Oman. For some reason everyone prefers either frying or pickling oyster mushrooms. Well, salting is kind of rare, but I love salted oyster mushrooms, so I salt them. Now I'll show you, look at these awesome oyster mushrooms you have. Now we're going to salt them. So first of all, you need to break them off from the stem like this. They break off easily into these little individual mushrooms like this. Now, once we separate them, I have 700 grams of oyster mushrooms here. 700. You can do it like this. If they're really huge, you can just cut them like this. See, this one is cut. People often criticize me for using champignons, saying they're not real mushrooms. Yeah, guys, no problem. We'll use oyster mushrooms. Everything is sorted out. Pachechka. Setting with water. And we throw our oyster mushrooms in here. Now they're coming to a boil. And we cook them for about 15 minutes from the moment they start boiling on a low simmer. So we'll come back in 15 minutes, friends. 15 minutes have passed. It has been boiling for exactly 15 minutes. I want to say right away, for those who have never cooked oyster mushrooms, and many of you probably haven't, if you cover them with a lid, or even in general, don't walk away from them because they tend to foam a lot. There will be a lot of foam and it will just spill over and flood your stove. Let's cook. It's best to stand by and skim off the foam for 15 minutes. Now that 15 minutes are up, I'm just turning it off. Let's take out our mushrooms. Somewhere. I'll set them aside in a bowl for now, then I'll transfer them to a container. I've taken out the mushrooms, and here we're getting a very rich mushroom broth. It's as mushroomy as it gets. It's really delicious. Now we need to measure out this broth. Wait, call me. We need to measure out ½ liter of broth. Or you don't have to measure. You can just take regular water, boil about ½ liter and continue. Or you can go for a richer flavor. Salting these mushrooms more in the same broth will improve their flavor, and the leftover broth will also taste better. You can just boil it down more to get a more concentrated flavor. Pour it into molds and freeze it. You'll get, a concentrated broth, a mushroom broth like that. It's really tasty. Or you can cook something with it. It's truly a very delicious, rich mushroom broth. We measure everything out. Here, this is 0.5 liters of this broth. So we've set aside 0.5 liters of our mushroom broth. 3 bay leaves, about ½ teaspoon of mustard seeds here, also ½ teaspoon of coriander, about 5 pieces, about 7 allspice berries, and ½ teaspoon of black peppercorns, a teaspoon of sugar, and a tablespoon of salt with a small heap. That's about 30 grams of salt. Let's boil it to dissolve everything. While our mushrooms are boiling, you can use any heat-resistant container or a jar. I don't have a container like that, so I'm using a jar. Ours is a 1 liter jar. It'll work. Super tasty mushrooms, not pickled, but salted. Here are 4 garlic cloves. I throw it on top, then we'll mix it all up. It'll get combined. Our broth is already boiling. We boil all this for about 4 minutes. 4 minutes have passed. What do we do next? We take and pour it through a strainer so that all these little seeds don't get in. The only thing you can add there is a bay leaf. Well, I won't. The broth turned out pretty concentrated anyway. We cover everything up, seal it. And what I'd like to say is now we're going to stir it, look, like this, so that the garlic goes in a little bit. Honestly, I just want to confess, when you just lay out the mushrooms, you should have added the garlic, but it happens. People forget. I just forgot, so now I'm stirring it in. But when you add the oyster mushrooms, just put the garlic between them and everything will be fine. So don't get distracted while cooking like I did. Leave it for 24 hours, that is, for a whole day, so it gets properly salted. The solution is very salty. We'll return in 24 hours and I'll show you how great it will look. As for storage, how long can you keep it? It doesn't last long because you'll finish a jar like this very, very quickly. People often ask me, how long does it keep? You don't save this for winter, just make it now. Once cooled, I'll refrigerate it for 24 hours, then eat and show you how tasty it is. Maybe it could last another day or even a week, but I've never kept it longer than that. It usually gets eaten in a day or two, just like that, instantly. That's how it is, friends. You all know, I totally agree. I'm filming this and set up a donation jar to raise money for housing to replace what was lost. If you want to help, go ahead. If not, just enjoy the video until tomorrow. Anyway, we'll be back in about 24 hours. Hello friends, for you it's a moment, but we've spent a whole day. Here are our mushrooms, take a look. Now look over here and it looks just wonderful. And it smells great too. It got really cold. Yesterday you could still say the weather was like summer even though it's autumn, but today it suddenly got much colder. Autumn is really taking over now. So we're going to try the mushrooms. We don't need the brine. We poured out the brine and put them here. That's it. Our salted oyster mushrooms. This is how beautiful it looks. They're already tasty. But to make it even tastier, we take an onion and slice it thinly into half rings. Just separate them like this and add them to our mushrooms. Adding a bit of dill or parsley will make it even tastier. Let's say I probably like oyster mushrooms more with dill, but they're also good with parsley. A bit of oil or fragrant oil, if you have it, is perfect. You can eat that unrefined oil immediately. There's no need to let it sit. All of this is going to be really, really tasty. It looks so cool and it's definitely very, very delicious. But to make it even tastier, as you probably already guessed, you'll need some extra equipment. Cheers to your health, my friends. Awesome. By the way, if you want, you can add a bit of tanginess with some lemon juice, just a splash, and it will taste really good too. Right now, for me, just with some butter is perfect. They're nicely salted with butter, a bit of onion, and you can really taste the dill. Tell us what you're doing. Champignons aren't really mushrooms anymore. Well, I know. Now write in the comments. Are oyster mushrooms real mushrooms or not? What do you think? Thank you all so much. Thanks for watching. If you like this beauty, be sure to give it a like and leave a comment so the video can spread across YouTube and more people can see it. That's the recipe. Bye everyone. Here are 2 awesome videos, really amazing ones. Make sure to watch them too. See you guys.